Greetings and welcome to another round of Galactic Civilizations 4, this time finally trying out the new Megastructures DLC that is coming to Steam on December 10th. Don't worry, in this Let's Play we're not going to cover too much early game and jump to mid game as quickly as possible, because this new DLC focuses on mid to end game content, where we create huge projects like a Dyson sphere, using the power of black holes to create galactic travel networks and even build ring worlds. In addition, we get new quests and events, new technologies and new ship components. A truly massive DLC. This is a sponsored video series by Stardock Entertainment, and I'd like to show you all the new features. Don't forget to check out the link in the description to learn more about Galactic Civilizations IV Megastructures. Let's get cracking right away. So it begins in this galaxy here. Somewhere there is a star cluster, and in the star cluster on the eastern side, this is where our empire begins. Now, since this DLC is focusing on mid to end game, we're going to really run through the early game as much as possible. I've done the early game now quite a few times. It's my favorite part of the game actually, because I love the exploration aspect of it, and how random and how many things you can actually find, which is just really amazing. But outside of that, there's not that much new content in the early game, so we really want to go for most of the things that we're going for. So the flagship is going to survey here the debris that we have. My colony ship is going to wait. I mean, over here we have already a class 20 planets that I can settle with my colony ship that we have. In this case here, you should be familiar with some kind of mechanics, so just watch one of my older let's plays of this for the early game. Outside of that, we are going to advance very quickly here. For my shipyard, I'm going to build me two more probes so we can speed up our exploration. And for my research, we're starting with the colonial policies here. That unlocks me then the policies that we want to go ahead with. Let's end the very first turn. The policies have been finished, and we can actually start with the universal translator. This is really important because outside of that, we'll not be able to actually communicate with any other alien factions. For my policies, I would like to go ahead with the fast exploration as my first one, because this one here gives me more movement speed, and with that we can explore faster. Next up, we should start with our planetary development for my home system, right, for Earth, for my main capital that we have, and we have to start with the capital city itself. This is where it's very good to have some housing on it, right, so we do that. For my second building, we want to go with the research boosting, so over here we got lots of research. Let's go ahead and get me my capital mainframe over there. So these two here will be boosted. And then we have also the industrial center, very good for industrial manufacturing. This would be an ideal location since we have some tiles close by that we can boost it with. Down the road, we're getting a distance signal. This opens up the DLC. So this is the quest line that starts into the megastructures, and our sensors have detected a large object emitting strange signals from somewhere in our sector. If we upgrade our sensor technology, we may be able to locate the source. Finally, my colony ship reaches Felis, and we can now settle in the first new planet outside of our own one. Unfortunately, the colony's food processor is broken down, leading to a hole in food production. We need to spend Duranthium for this, and with that we have a negative Duranthium balance right now, but at least we were able to do this. Universal Translator leads into armed shuttles that allows me to start building my fleet up. Now, Felis right now is a pretty big planet. Right now, though, I'm going to keep it as a feeder planet here for Earth here, so it is supplying Earth right away. Down here, we found another planet, a class 22 one. That is great for another colony. And yeah, this system in general is also really nice because you get some asteroid belts here as well, and the gas giants. And those gas giants actually have the new resource, the gigamass, that we need to harness then as well. As always, it's a really beautiful game. I love watching those planets go by. Construction, the capital continues. I would like to focus primarily on manufacturing districts here now, and we can also go ahead and get the harmony crystals going for the approval rating boost. I'm also going to assign now my ministers. That is one for the colonization, for the approval boost. That is one for our technology boost, and that is also one for the exploration boost. Thanks to finishing the research, we have also now the first military ships. They're going to help us out then to defend ourselves. After some time, we also found a very good planet, a class 25 terrestrial planet. So this is definitely going to be an ideal colony. So we're exploring all of this area here, especially in the back of it, in my backyard. Here, I'm expecting them also some other civilizations. Also, the first black hole that we have over here, we could use it for some traveling, perhaps in the distant future. And there is actually the first next civilization that we have. These guys here, the Poluxians, as they're called. Also, asteroid mining has been unlocked, granting me also 2 asteroid miners right away, so we can now start exploiting the inner surrounding area. And this one here, it's a small one, but it's fine. And these are also now providing production for Earth. There they are, looking a bit creepy, that's the other one. And these guys here, I'm Admiral Vexorax, Solstice ruler of the Stellar Vanguard Collective. And I believe we can work together. We could also be reasonable, open up trade, and yeah, and open to new deals. With that, we can actually start trading here with those guys. Next in line, the Hyperwave Radio. And we can also finally unlock the frigate class ship with the space doctrine. Very important, because we want to start up a fleet so no one actually has only the slightest idea of waging war against us. I can at this point go for my next policy. Very important here is the coerced colonization. Gives me growth 100% boost for all my planets. However, it reduces my approval rating by 10%. I think we can afford this right now. Also a planet that is super interesting for us, class 30, amazing, a precursor prison. However, it needs the precursor studies before we can go to this, and this will then also unlock us something very interesting down the road, hopefully. The next civilization introduces us, and the Phalanoids advance, and there's much we can learn from our differences. I stay positive to them right now. A radioactive planet, not the ideal one to settle. That third colony that we're establishing right now, and on this planet there is another damage during transit. Our colony ship's auto printers are inoperative. Once again, the ransom we need to pay for this. Holy cow, I'm really in debt for the ransom. This is an amazing planet, however, class 22, and that's why I want to make this one into its own government, right? So we're going to get Andrea Mill here into this one here, and with that we can also start building now something here. And as we can see, we got a very research heavy colony out of this one, so very important that I get the research sectors then going here. This will be great. Looking at the greater scheme here, as we can see, this one is now very close then to the neighboring civilization and our outpost there for now. At this point, it's also important to start with the cultural progression. Now we're getting these culture points out of our achievements that we did so far, and I would like to start with the progressivism, because this one here gives me a nice research boost. This civilization already makes trouble. One of their ships was destroyed, and they believe our government is behind it. We demand reparation. Do we pay them 1,000 coin? We could also say we are innocent, and he has to believe us, or we did it. What are you going to do about it? Let's actually go with the middle ground here, 8 relationship reduction to the Stellar Collective. It's not going to lead to any war yet, though. The next civilization, they're looking not so friendly, and we're not digestible. I'm just going to get that right out here. Meanwhile, Earth has finished all its manufacturing districts, and this leads to a very high production value that we have now on this planet, and I would like to use this right away to build me some research districts on these special tiles that we have, like the Thriving Reef here as well. They give me research boosts in addition. And this one is super nice. Restorative Herbs gives me +3 to population. It's also time to start with some mining operations. There would be Promethean over there. That's a very important resource that we need, and we can build a mining star base out of that. And this is going to be then in the sector here, providing me now with Promethean. That is something we can also sell. Planetology has been researched. Next in line would be the emissaries, improve the diplomatic capabilities, and we can also recruit more commanders. There we have finally the subspace scanning. This is one thing that we need on our way for the quest line to find these megastructures. Another colony that we can go with, PT2, and there are some ruins on this colony here. The intricate architecture and undeciphered glyphs suggest a civilization of immense wisdom and power was here. What should we do with that? Extract the tag and destroy what's here, or leave the ruins for later investigation? Let's do this for now. Another very important starbase over here presents the opportunity of having 2 ransom incomes. That's very important, as we do need it. And we've also established the first trade route. In this case, all the way down here with that faction, that civilization. They shouldn't be too friendly towards us though, because I'm intending to settle now this planet here right beside them. Hatch 1 it's called, which is going to be a feeder colony for Yasenki over here. And also with the new DLC, there we have a new event, the Giga Gratitude. Continued investigations into the ring worlders have borne fruit. While surveying nearby anomalies, we managed to pick up on a signal leading us to an ancient storage facility. Stocked with resources that the ring worlders called gigamass. The molecular signature of this gigamass appears to be the match of that of material used to construct the ring worlders' home. The material is unfathomably dense and can only be worked with ultra specialized machinery. And we got the first 3 gigamass with that. Our scientists believe they can reverse engineer the technology necessary to collect this gigamass. It will require the consumption of several dead planets, but we can sacrifice a few barren worlds in the name of progress. And this starts the mission, research the gigamass harvesting. Since my economy is suffering a bit, we can also have a look at the new tax rate. This time I can be a bit more precise about this, and as we can see, the higher the taxes, the lower my approval rating. I would like to keep it around 60% for now. There you go. And this leads me to a nice gross income of plus 12 again per turn. Unfortunately, this new empire over there seems to be very strong, and it is almost bordering to us. So we could try to be a bit happier with them. I could also build a few trade ships and start trading with them. I'm also building a fleet right now. Another ship has been finished. Very important though that we also get some military bases up there and running. And there we have the gigamass theory researched, and this unlocks us now the gigamass harvesting that we are going to need. This new resource here. It's because of this empire that I'm going to redirect some of my constructors now to build me star bases in strategic locations, and these are military star bases, so they're going to protect us. And since we have a lot of modules, I can also go in and add a defensive system to the star base here, and also a scanner that gives me more influence for the region. And also, there we have now one of these ruined ring worlds out of the ring world leaders. Very interesting, and might hint at future content. For my next cultural tag, I'm going with fairness, because this gives me 3 free colony ships in addition, which is just an incredible boost. And we can now use them to settle, for example, on Mars. Now that is not a very powerful planet, but it's a nice colony that we have to supply Earth with more production. And in Mars in itself, we find toxic soil, low gravity. Still, we have identified 3 potential locations for the colony. Each one of them has a different bonus, and this one gives me 1 mineral, and I would like to take this one. So Mars has now a production value of 3. The next colony ship we could actually send to Artemis over there. That would give me a research bonus of plus 3. I'm going to send it though to Felis 1. That is another very positive planet. There you go. And this one will be very perfect for us for another supply colony. We can also decide once again what happens here.
Beast seems to have developed a peculiar fascination with your colony, and has already claimed the lives of numerous colonists with its
Okay, we have no right to endanger the species further. This actually gives me some resistance. Kill the shark and mount the skeleton in my throne room. Gives me approval rating. Let's go ahead with this. Felis is actually supplying Earth, which is interesting, because Felis 2 over here is supplying Phoenicia 1, which is perfect for me, having a balance between the two. Finally, also with the terraforming tag, we can now increase our size on the planets itself. Like on Earth, for example, here with the planetary conversion, we can go ahead and have another tile system working here then. So this would be then a nice, huge production area that we have, for example. And after finishing one of these terraforming plants, we can now add another manufacturing. So this here is actually now providing all the tiles around it. Also doesn't take long, and we have the first war declaration at our hands. It was pretty much, well, obvious from the beginning that they would do this. Lucky us, right now we have already finished the next warship class, that is the cruiser, and I'm actually pushing this one pretty hard right now. I would like to have a look at Earth there as well, because with Earth we can also say that we want to focus even more on that. We can also upgrade our manufacturing districts now, so after the clinic I'm going to upgrade all of my districts here, right? This will then push out more more production that we need for the ship production. That is my most important thing right now. The other thing is, yeah, a bit more research we could go. I could also focus a bit on military, but I don't want to, honestly. I'm also going to reduce one of my policies here, the economic development. Let's get rid of that, and then we actually have the ability here now to increase the hit points of all my starships, or we give this shipyard a stimulus. So with this we can actually produce more ships quickly. Let's go for this. Since we have lots of money right now, our banks are full, we should be able to push out more ships this way. And it doesn't take long for us to have the first battle. No problem, really. This was just a smaller ship. However, we can also start the siege of the first planet, and it will take 6 months to 6 turns for this to finish. Let's also get the other fleet over here. And of course, we continue building more ships in the background. Right now, we can push out 1 cruiser every 2 turns. And finally, it doesn't take long, and we see the enemy fleets now approaching. And in this case here, they're starting with Petty 3 siege. That still takes 8 months. And in this case here, we have our fleet over here at Speaker. 2 months, and then we still have 6 turns to get over there. This should be easily done. So let's take over this world here, build a few more ships, merge the fleets, and then we should have an easy target over there as well. Yeah, that's just invasion now. Okay, next up we have the photonic alignment. This gives me another beam attack damage that we can have, and it also unlocks us the plasma beams down the road. At this point I could also improve my invasion tactics. We can also get the enemy targeting abilities down with this one here. And precursor archaeology is super important, because with that we can start precursor worlds. Let's focus on military attack for now, and then we go with precursor, because that will open up a new world for me that I've been eyeing for quite some time. On Earth, we can build more, at this point more rangers. I don't care about my balance at the moment, right? We have a lot of money in the background, so we can just happily build more ships, and we can afford the upkeep of this. Precursor probe of Phoenicia 1. What do we do with it? We can study it. We can also unlock the Stargazer ship with that, and this is my go-to here. Okay, the next ranger. So we have then 2 full fleets here soon, ready and activated. Another attack here on one of my flagships. Nothing we can do about that, really. We just will lose this ship for now. And by the way, this is the Stellar Bank. Oh, this is actually another player now. And yes, we have a second war declaration coming in at this point. It's the Stellar Vanguard Collective. And the siege is over. We have taken over this planet here, at least for now. The sphere of influence still belongs to the enemy though. So now we gotta make sure that we actually clear some of those enemy fleets that we have in the area. I've seen an enemy fleet somewhere here, but I know that there is one here right now. So let's actually get up. I'm going to send both of my fleets up into this region. Please stay together. Thank you. And we can also watch a battle. And that was a decisive victory for us. Very good. We have destroyed 6 ships and we lost 1 in total. That's okay. Petty is available again, or free again. There is another force down here, so let's immediately send my ships down. Thanks to all the upgrades, they have a lot of movement points at this point, and they can actually immediately go to the offensive here again once more. This time let's make it quick. That's 13 ships on the enemy side, but they're smaller vessels, and we lost 1 ship and took them down completely. Okay, there's another force coming in over here already with 23 attack damage, and there's another one with 42 attack damage, so I will need to get them. There's my Phoenicia fleet, just pushing out a few more ships. Yes, no, that's a freighter. We don't need this, the freighter. I want to get my ships over, but we are waging war against 2 sides now, so getting at least one of them to peaceful terms would be amazing. Let's get my 9 size fleet over there. How much longer does it take to build another one? Yeah, 3 turns. Phoenicia, let's go ahead and upgrade my manufacturing districts here further. Food is fine, money is fine, we are fine, but that's a lot of ships right now in this region that we need to tackle. Let's send those 2 ships down here, so just in case that I'm warned, right? You never really know when you need this. There's another bigger fleet coming in with 4 ships. And there's one now coming in with 4 ships as well. I still have these guys, and I'm going to send them also to the other side. At this point, I just need to make sure that we have a lot of new ships coming out. So every 2 turns, that's okay. Another battle. Okay, they attack us, and they have a total loss. There's no challenge here. We have the cruisers. The cruisers are way more powerful. And Phoenicia is under attack, and it only takes 2 months to take this over. That is not great. Now this is bad for us though. So let's get my fleet down. And let's also attack these guys here. So we should be able to get there on time. There you go. Ending the siege this way is easy peasy. Also, that starbase is under attack, but thanks to all the upgrades, we can easily defend it. Destroying yet another fleet actually gives me an upgrade, so we can upgrade this flagship here. And yeah, give it the crew quarters to have 20% more hit points. Meanwhile, Speaker is now complete in our sphere. It's also in our sphere of influence. So this is actually a great way to expand, waging defensive wars. And also destroying the shipyard of the enemy is of course extremely helpful, as there's not that many new ships coming in then anymore. It's at this point that the first ceasefire proposal comes in. The problem though is that is way not enough resources, and right now I'm in the mood for conquering a few planets. So Muspelheim 2 and 3 are under siege right now. Both of them will be taken over in 8 months and 5 months respectively. And also over here we are having a siege right now on Stitlat 1, right, for another 4 months. Unfortunately, we will also need to repel an invasion in Peti 2 that is taking another 4 months. So we should be able to get there on time, if my calculations are correct. Over here we're still fighting a fleet with my starbase, or protecting us actually against this. And there is actually a pretty strong fleet now coming in. That is something that might be more difficult. Holy cow, how can he get 8 out of that so quickly? A lot of bombers joined. I mean, bombers are not per se super strong. So I'm trying to merge this together again. And we should actually be able to take them down. We have no casualties. The thing is with bombers is they have a lot of attack power, but almost no hull. And yeah, we lost a few. One ship here, right? But other than that, he's lost the full bomber fleet. Very good. Let's end the turn, because in the next turn, we already have that siege to take care of. It's taking a long time to get over there. Oh, I can also take them down with my ranger, because it's just some smaller ships here. And they have a siege. So if you are in a siege with a planet, you actually have a penalty from ships coming from the other side. And with that, we have ended that siege. I can actually take the main fleet back in here again, just so that we're clear on this. This one still takes a bit of time. Here, there's a few more ships on that side. But that is a constructor. That's both constructors. Let's take them both down. These are just there to build new star bases. Right, here you go. Cleaning things up a bit. He's also still attacking my star base, but that is not taking any damage so far, thanks to our superior shields. Plasma beams in 3 months. We can retrofit those ships, by the way, so I can then just upgrade them with those plasma beams in addition. Now, when it comes to Phoenicia 1, I would like to also get the planetary conversion here, because I want to continue boosting my manufacturing districts. We're also going to upgrade them. And another planet, Muspelheim 3 it's called, that we have under our control now. And the siege of Muspelheim 2 is over too. We have 2 more planets that are going directly supporting us, Yeskensky. Let's just see. We have taken now quite a bit of territory. And also this one here. There is still no tangible enemy force. This one still all belongs to us. Also on that side of the front, we also have no real threat at the moment, thanks to being really superior when it comes to attack. This is over in 1 month. Perfect. So actually next turn we have this new planet as well. What to do with mine? So as we can see here, the sphere of influence is now growing, right, out of these 2 planets. Since they're together, also they're giving each other support in this case here. And we're now actively taking away this whole territory there from them. The problem though is that I cannot take over any other planets in the region for now, because my conquest rating is simply too low, right? These are very strong attack ships. I don't have bombers or something like that yet. So this would be something we actually need to get cracking as well if I want to go with more invasion down the road. I'm just checking now where we do have some strong enemy forces. So far I don't see this, so I would like to take down the shipyards next. At least those guys here, right? We could also force into a nice ceasefire now. Those guys here are a bit more powerful at the moment at least. So I would like to push them back a bit further. That is with this now. Let's end the turn. Also still pushing a bit forward there. By the way, is that a planet? Yes, this is the radioactive planet that we had. That I can also take down. Okay, turn is ended. We should actually take it over now. There it is. Stitlet 1 is ours. And with that, we have a new supplier for PD2 that we can use. Now, as we can see, any new conquest will not work. The conquest rating is simply too low for any additional planet. There it is. Bilbo, it would take 7 months. Let's get over there and actually send some supply or some defense ships there. Oh, there is a big one coming in. Right, Nexa Prime. But with them, I think we could actually go to peace now. Let's have a look. Do you want to have some peace? Speak to. Let's negotiate. We give you a peace treaty. And he would not accept. Is this serious? Okay. I mean, he just proposed it himself, and now you don't want to have it? He doesn't even want to go with a ceasefire. Okay. That's very interesting, but we'll just have to go with that. So far so good. As we can see, we've entered mid-game. We are now in this sphere here, but it's really contested at the moment. I'm trying to find new allies now that could help us in the war against these two here, even though, of course, we have the advantage position right now. I really enjoyed this playthrough. I hope you do too. Megastructures it is, and we continue onwards then in the next episode. Don't forget to check out the link in the description. Stay tuned.